Vikings offensive line. We're in trouble. All right, welcome back to the Onebar and Lupagus show. I'm Onebar with Lupagus and Kevin O'Connell, just giving some more info on this offensive line riddled with injuries, and it's not favorable.
Is it fair to say this O-line is in shambles?
It's in shambles. It's getting kicked to the crotch repeatedly. But damn it, you never know. I mean, this is where people shine, right?
Yeah, that's where people shine. You'd love to have this happen right before the playoffs. We're going to hop into this before we do. Be sure to subscribe to the channel, like the vids. We are like 3 away from 8,400. So we're almost there. How nice would it make you feel start off the new year by being our 8,400th subscriber?
Oh, man. It would start their year off on a great note. But Vikings offensive line is not getting us started off to a great note. We already know that Austin Schlottman out for the year.
Yep.
Dunzo. Garrett Bradbury gave an update saying that he hopes that he's back for the playoffs. Anytime you say he hopes back for the playoffs, it sounds like it might be that might even be a pipe dream at this point. So we could be looking at Chris Reed as our starting center.
Chris Reed thrust into action, and my God, it was like he's never played football before. I know it's a hostile environment. It's an impossible task to ask him to go in that situation and actually perform, but he was snapping the ball when he wasn't supposed to. He wasn't snapping it. It's like he didn't know he had no idea what the snap count was. It was an absolute shit show. And who would have thought that losing Austin Schlottman would have been so big to this offense?
Kevin O'Connell would have, and that's why you didn't put Chris Reed out. Confirming once again that we know nothing. Chris Reed wasn't out there for a reason. He wasn't good.
Well, I think it has more to me to do with just the knowing the snap count, having that familiarity with Kirk Cousins. If Chris Reed actually practiced during the week, I think he'll be a little bit better. But how he was thrust in there, it was so hard for him to succeed.
I mean, he did go into the game as the backup center. I mean, it's not like he's not taking snaps and running with the off. I mean, I'll give him a pass. It was a horrible situation to go into. A week of practice obviously is going to only make him better and more prepared. Get that right mental state, get going. We know Chris Reed is a good football player. Let's just hope he shows up. He's going to have to, because we haven't even gotten into the big boy yet.
Yeah, the big one.
And that is Brian O'Neill. Significant leg injury. He's already missing a game that's a week away. We have to realize that there's like a huge % chance we're not going to see Brian O'Neill again this year.
Chris Thompson reporting that O'Neill has already been ruled out for Sunday's game. Again, yeah, it's supposedly a calf tear, and those take quite a while to heal. Nothing confirmed yet. No results from the MRI. I'm sure Kevin O'Connell is keeping this one close to the chest until he really has to release some information. But man, what a knock kick to the nuts, a finger to the ass of Minnesota Vikings as they approach the playoffs.
Yeah, Brian O'Neill, we know he's one of our best, not only offensive linemen, but one of our best players on this damn team. I mean, Kevin O'Connell could have phrased that so many different ways. Hey, maybe, hopefully, at least like Bradbury, hopefully he's back for the playoffs, or he's week to week. He's out for next week. No, he just said significant. And I think you're right. It's only a matter of time until he has to say it, but he's done. He ain't playing again.
Yeah, it doesn't look like it. Doesn't sound good. So now you got to go with who you got. You got Oli Udoh, who actually stepped in, played okay. I mean, he's not really the right tackle. He's been backed up left side, goes over, plays right, and he played fairly well. I don't remember seeing much pressure come from the right side the rest of the game.
That's fine. But just like Chris Reed's going to get a week to prepare at center, everyone else is going to get a week to prepare for Oli freaking Udoh. And Oli Udoh has been a backup tackle for a reason. This is a huge hit to this crotch. I mean, think about these teams that we're going to be playing. Yeah. I mean, come playoff time, if it's the Giants. I mean, we saw Thibodeau doing the freaking snow angel next to Nick Foles' deceased body. He doesn't care. This is bad news. Bad news.
It's horrifying. It's absolutely horrifying. It comes at the worst damn time it could possibly come at. I'm trying to see. Is Blake Brandel still out too?
On IR.
He's on IR. So, I mean, Vidarian Lowe, that's our other backup tackle. That's how thin the Vikings are at tackle. Boy, this is scary. But, I mean, so then you got game plan for it. I mean, the Vikings have the game plan for it. I always expect to see some CJ Ham, 2 tight ends, rolling Kirk Cousins away from that side. I mean, you got to do what you can do to protect your weak spots. But if you got to go into the playoff game with Chris Reed at center, Oli Udoh at right tackle, it could be one and done for the Vikings.
Well, I mean, and think who's between them. It's Ed Ingram. I mean, that whole right side is going to be a complete disaster. And we're not trying to be negative Nancy's here. We're just being realistic. I mean, the Vikings will have their hands full as far as how they're going to do this, because it's not like there's this beautiful offensive tackle just waiting. I mean, you see it on Twitter. Oh, it's JC Treader time. He's finally coming. You see Andrew Whitworth I'm seeing already. Like, call this guy up. I mean, pipe dreams. There's not a beautiful offensive lineman out there, and we're going to have to deal with what we got.
No, you're going to get, the Kyle Hintons of the world and the Vidarian Lows. Those are going to be your saviors. Those are going to be the guys backing these guys up. Horrifying to think of. An O-line that's been, we say it's been better, but it really hasn't been great overall this year, especially the interior. You hope Garrett Bradbury can come back. That would definitely help. But right now, yeah, this is just a kick to the balls.
Garrett Bradbury, like you said, it's going to be key. He has to come back. He has to be out there for the week 1 of the playoffs. And I mean, even looking at our practice squad, we don't even have anybody to bring up on the offensive line. They're going to have to sign somebody. It's not going to be a sexy name. It's going to be somebody to fill the spot. But it's going to be bad news. Bad news. Let's just hope Brian O'Neill. I mean, let's just hope this is just the season ending. I mean, let's not hope this is just something crazy where he's could even be missing some of the first part of next season.
Let me check.
Check what?
How long it takes to heal.
We don't even know if that's what it is. Some people are saying it's an ACL. They don't even want to say it. I mean, it's everybody's guessing right now. It's
4 to 6 weeks to heal a grade 1 calf pull.
Oh.
That's a pull. 3 to 4 months to heal a tear.
Yeah, it's significant. He might even have a leg anymore. Man, there was something else I was going to say, and I can't remember. Probably wasn't that great if I can't remember what it was.
I don't know. So Vikings O-line in shambles. This Vikings team is in shambles after getting destroyed by the Packers. You know what? Kevin O'Connell's got to do some magic, pull some magic out of his ass, make this thing work, and I'm sure he'll come up with something. But right now, the Bears game, I mean, are we just going to concede the 3rd seed and not risk any further injury? That's
what I was thinking. That's what I was going to say. I mean, it is a whole nother topic, but they have to realistically look at saying, you know what, screw it. We're not putting Kirk Cousins out there. We're not. I mean, it makes total sense if they went that route.
Yeah, and we'll probably do a full video on that. We have to, because there's a lot to talk about there. But you got to start thinking with the health of this team, and it's the last thing you want to happen when you start playing games in January before the playoffs is these significant injuries to your key players. I mean, you saw how big the center was. Changing that in the game, it just totally threw out this offense. Took a full quarter and a half before things to finally kind of come back to normal. And Olioto out there on top of it, it wasn't good. And like you said, it could be the Giants in the playoffs. Those pass rushers, it's just terrifying to think of.
We're 1 injury away from Johnny freaking Munt playing center or possibly playing right tackle. But we are 12-4. We are kings of the damn North. So confidence is still high, but this is an issue we have to deal with. Let us know in the comments. What are you thinking? Is there a guy out there that we should sign? Well, let us have it.
Yeah, and when we get the Brian O'Neill news, we'll be all over that shit. We'll be reporting that first. We'll probably be crying. Be so sad. But until then, remember this. In 1985, the city of Philadelphia bombed its own citizens.